Hello, welcome to Business 100. Specifically today, we're going to talk about accounting. My name is Brad Van Kelspeak, and I am logging in from my lower level of our home. So it's a different time, no doubt, but I am thankful that we have this technology that we can stay in touch. So I will begin, and I will provide you my email address and phone number at the end of this. So if you have any questions, I would be happy to help you. So today we're going to talk about accounting. And I am one of the accountants on staff at the University of Sioux Falls. And if you were to major in accounting, most likely you would have one of the accounting profs as your advisor. But we have several different tracks of accounting, and I'll try to explain each of them. They're all a little bit different, but yet know that they're out there. And do you need to remember them or memorize them today? Absolutely not. Your advisor will help you with that. But the first one is just the traditional, normal 124 credit program. And that's just what we call the accounting major. So there's nothing really super unique about it. It's the normal credit load, 124 credits, finish in 4 years, and it's very similar to the other like business administration type majors. And then we have what we call the professional accounting. So it's professional accounting and business administration, which technically is two majors wrapped up into one. And that major is actually 150 credits. So you would ask, well, why is there 150 credits in that double major type of degree? And the reason is, for those that want to sit for the CPA exam, you need to have 150 credits. Well, truth be told, for most students, that would be probably a 4.5 or 5 year program. But looking over our history of those that have majored in this professional accounting and business administration major, most still do it in 4 years. So it's a lot of credits in 4 years, but we manage it by doing one of two things, or we do these two things. One, you certainly always have a 15 credit load or more, but 15 for sure. You will certainly take a class or two during interim, and then I guess if there's a third, you would possibly take a class or two during the summer. Now, that's certainly not a lot of fun taking classes in the summer. However, it's a whole lot cheaper taking those classes in the summer than it is to go a 5th year. So as of right now, when I think about all my advisees, I don't think I have any student that's doing the 150 credit major and not doing it in the 4 years. They're all managing to get it done in 4 years. And we should add this, and I would imagine this would be true for all of you as well. Most students today come in with so many credits from high school already, so that already helps in the process of getting down to 100 or to get to our 150 credits. So many students have credits that they're bringing in. There would be the exception for the student that plays a fall sport, and if they redshirted, we will have occasionally a student that wants to be here for 4.5 years. Like a football player, if they want to come back and play that 5th fall, so then they'll map their schedule out for the 4.5 years. But most do it in the 4 years. And then we have another very unique program that I'm very excited about. It's called the 3+1 program. And what that program does for you is you graduate in 3 years with an undergrad degree, and then your 4th year, the +1, is your MBA. So in this scenario, you finish a 3-year program. It's very, very jam-packed. There is certainly a prescribed classes that you must take at certain times, and it does include summer and of course interim. But you are finished in 3. You will have your accounting degree, your business and accounting degree. And then once that is finished, you would move over into the MBA program, and you would have essentially, compared to your peers who will take 4 years to get their undergrad degree, you will have your undergrad degree and your master's of business administration in that 4th year. And that is very attractive. I think what's really wonderful about that is, as I try to tell prospective students that come to USF, that when you're finished in 4 years, you'll not only have your undergrad degree, your master's, but you will also be eligible to sit for the CPA exam. You'll have your 150 credits. So that's a big deal. If that was an opportunity that faced me when I was your age, there's no question I'd be doing the 3+1 program. I think that is just ideal. So there is basically our 3 different types of majors. And I should put this one additional comment. So let's just say I don't know if I want to sit for the CPA exam. And of course, at this level of college, you probably don't know. Well, if you major in just say the accounting major, the 124 credit, the very first one that I talked about, and you are afraid now, could I someday move over and do the 150 credit? And the answer is yes. So there's nothing in either of these majors that would stop you from changing your direction as you're going midstream. Of course, if it would be your fall semester of your senior year and you're on track to graduate with 124 credits, and now you say, I'd like to sit for the CPA exam. Of course, that's going to be a little bit more challenging because there's 20-some credits that we need to look for. So that would be of course a challenge. But if you're your sophomore year, junior year, and you say, I think I would like to modify my schedule and I would like to sit for the CPA exam, absolutely. And as you're visiting with your advisor, they'll work through those issues and talk to you about the different opportunities of how to change that. So those are the 3 majors I wanted to hit on. And then the 4th is there's an accounting minor. So, and here's another perfect example. I don't know if I want to even major in accounting. Well, let's add the accounting minor. And then if you say, hey, I'm doing this and I kind of like it and I think I'd like to major in it, everything that you did in your minor, of course, would apply to your major. So you would be out nothing. It's a very safe way to kind of dabble in accounting and find out, should I major in this? So I'll add the accounting minor at this point. The next area that I kind of want to talk about is the profession as a whole. Very, very big picture. There's essentially 4 different fields in accounting. And the first one would be what we'd call private accounting. So you as the accountant or the vice president of accounting or finance, you would work for a company. And an example would be like Osted's Golf. You would work for that company doing, overseeing their entire accounting system. So that's private. And then we have another sector called nonprofit or governmental. And there's 2 actually, they're nonprofit and governmental. An example of nonprofit would be the University of Sioux Falls, Avera Health. Those are considered nonprofits, and you would be like private working just for them. And then the other one, governmental, would be, of course, working for some type of governmental entity like the City of Sioux Falls, the State of South Dakota, governmental. The third sector of accounting is what we call public. And those are what quite frankly, most people probably confuse accounting with. That's the tax preparers, the auditors, and that's what we would consider public accounting. There's the 4, what we call the big 4 accounting firms: KPMG, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Deloitte & Touche, and Ernst & Young. I just about forgot the 4th one. So those are the big 4 CPA firms. There's a 5th largest firm, and it's called RSM McGladrey. They are located here in Sioux Falls. The big 4, of course, are all located all across the globe. but with the closest locations would be Minneapolis or Omaha. In Sioux Falls, we do have a big one. It's the fifth largest CPA firm in the world, and that's RSM McGladrey here in Sioux Falls. I'm actually an alum of RSM McGladrey. And then the fourth sector, if you will, the fourth sector of accounting is what we would call being a consultant and or a business owner. So you're not in private accounting so much, or public or governmental, but rather you are a business owner, an entrepreneur who doesn't do accounting every day, but that was their background, and now they're running a business or consulting professionally. Something else I wanted to mention about accounting is, what's the makeup as far as gender? Well, I think certainly when I was in public accounting, let me back up here and give you a little bit of my history. So when I graduated from college 400 years ago, when I graduated, then the profession was, predominantly male. There was a lot of there were women in the profession, but not nearly as much. It was a lot more male in the profession. And when I started, when I graduated, I first went right into public accounting. I worked for a regional firm. Loved doing that. And then the opportunity came for me to work for RSM. I wanted the RSM McGladrey is international. It's a very, very large firm, the fifth largest in the world. So I was able to do audits of publicly traded companies, privately traded. The work was just completely different than the regional, and it was just on a bigger scale. And I absolutely loved public accounting. It's a great profession. When I was at RSM McGladrey, an opportunity came for me to become a CFO at a company here in Sioux Falls. It was a real estate developing company, and I took that opportunity. And once again, I thoroughly enjoyed working for private accounting. It was for a real estate, as I said, a real estate developing company here in Sioux Falls. We built hotels, restaurants, apartments, office buildings, and then we brokered them as well. So I did that for a number of years, and then the opportunity came for me to come to USF. And I'll tell you, in each and every scenario, when I moved from public accounting to a much larger public accounting to private accounting and now to education, I never knew if I was going to like the next step, if I was going to love it as much as I did the current one. And I can tell you, and I suppose it's probably some of my personality, but I absolutely love the challenge. When I first left college and I went into auditing, I just so enjoyed working with clients and helping them fulfill their goals and dreams. And then working for a private company, I absolutely love going to one location every day, and trying to make that company become even better than it was when I arrived. And then the challenge of going into education. So with all of those opportunities, there's all kinds of accounting opportunities, and I enjoyed every one. And I hope you consider accounting. So now going back, I said, when I went into accounting, there was a lot more males in the profession. And I will say today, and I look at my advanced accounting class, I teach the upper level accounting class, and today they're very small classes when we get to the upper level. This year I've got 10 students in there, and it's split right down the middle, 50% female and 50% male. I would say over the last few years, however, it's been many more times that it's been heavy on the female side. Many more females are going into the profession. And I will tell you the main reason I think for that is, one, they enjoy the work, but two, this profession can be very flexible. There are many positions where the individual, if they so choose, they can work from at home. And a lot of companies are allowing for that to happen. They have some very talented accountants that want to raise a family and also be an accountant, and they can do that with accounting. So they don't want to lose these great employees to another organization if they can and be flexible. So a lot of these companies they'll work with you. So again, right now I would say it's a real good mix, 50-50, but you'd be surprised. There's a lot more females in the profession than there used to be. Work-life balance is another topic. Well, when I was in accounting, I will say, unfortunately, the work-life balance wasn't probably the best. There was a lot more emphasis on what you had to get done. Not so much in consideration of how much time that would take, but rather you do what you got to do. Today, and it's not just accounting, it's in all professions, there is such emphasis on work and personal life balance. And accounting is right there with the rest of them, that they're making sure that you understand that it's important to have a life outside of work, and by doing so you will be more effective at work. So that's great. And again, I touched on the idea that you can work from home. It's a profession that allows you to do that. We have a graduate that works in Minneapolis at another very large CPA firm, and she, I believe, many days, it's like 3 days a week she works from at home. There is certainly requirements of when you have to come in, or you go to the client, then that's different. But so many of these meetings and work can be done from at home, and can be done like we're doing right now. Either they're being recorded, or it's being, with Zoom or MS Teams, that it's as if you were in an office together anyway. And then one thing I wanted to touch on, this stereotype is still out there, but that accountants do not have very good people skills. And I would say probably it's not entirely untrue, but it is so much. What I should say is there might be those ideas that people think that, oh, these accountants don't have very good people skills, but all in all, that is not true. You have to be great communicators, both with spoken word and in written word. We have to communicate well, and USF sets you up for that. Through all your accounting courses, you will either do some kind of presentation publicly and through written form, but you do need to be a good communicator, and you do need to have facial expressions that you can communicate with your client, and in both spoken and in written word. So we do have personalities, just like the rest of the majors, and we're not just bean counters. We don't just sit in a corner and do our work. It is much more people driven, as you might expect. I mean, who would you rather work with or office next to? Somebody that you wonder if they even have a tongue because they can't talk, or someone that's much more pleasant to visit with. So that is much more the case today. Accounting, you have to have very good verbal skills. Moving along to internships and employment, I can't tell you all of the calls that I get with regards to internships. There are many internships available if that would be something you are looking for. As far as employment is concerned, accounting is super hot. There is a great need. There is more need than there is employees. So of course that drives up salary. So that's all good. But with my graduates, those that are majoring in accounting, all of them will have a job in hand before they walk the stage, if they wish to. Of course, it's a two-way street, but I tell you, there should be no problem whatsoever trying to find employment. There is shortages in all sectors, private, public, governmental, non-for-profit, all over. They are looking for accountants and graduates. If you would ever have a desire to visit with an alum within that profession, whether it be private or public, please reach out to me, and I can set you up with someone so you can visit and talk about accounting and what was it like for them. So please let me know if that would be of any interest to you. And then the last thing, I guess I just want, the last topic I really want to talk to you about is exam materials. For those of you that are thinking about the CPA exam, USF does something quite unique. We purchased 2 review materials for the CPA exam, 2 different companies. It's a cost of about $3,000 each for each set, and we put those in the Mears library for you, and that's free. So for you that are thinking about sitting for the CPA exam, there is new materials every year put in the library for you to use to sit for that CPA exam once you finish your college career. And I think that's unique. There's not many schools that provide 2 different sets of review materials for students to use free of charge. So you'd want to know that. I guess the last thing, the very last thing, and then I'll let you go, is I want you to write down my phone number. My phone number is 605-331-6705. You call that if you have any questions, or if you just want to talk further about accounting and maybe if it's right for you. My email address is brad.vankelsbeek, VANKALSBEEK @usiouxfalls.edu. Either way, whether you call me or you email me, we can discuss or further analyze accounting. If you have any questions, I'd love to help you. And then I guess if I don't get a call from you or an email, please know that next fall when we get back together, stop by my office. I'm on the 2nd floor of the Cleveland building. I'd love to visit with you more about accounting. If you are majoring in entrepreneurial studies or business administration, you're going to take the 2 sections of principles of accounting. So you'll kind of get an understanding of accounting in those courses, and it'll give you an idea, should I minor in it or should I major in it? And then also you'll have one of us accounting profs during those courses that you can visit with. So I guess that's all I have for you today. If you get all the way to the end of this video and you email, make sure you hear this, you email Dr. Cole, the professor of Business 100, my phone number, 605-331-6705, she'll give you extra credit. That meant you followed this whole video all the way through. So you email her my phone number and she'll give you some extra credit. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well, staying safe, and staying healthy. And I look forward to seeing you this fall. Take care.